Hello. So I'm going to read to you again from this book that I want to get through. I really like it because I feel like it resonates with any kind of art and experience. So it kind of covers a lot of ground. But it's also very soothing because it is so dense and written just in a different time. Anyways, I'm going to start with the Act of Expression chapter and go for about 5 minutes. I'll have a little clock tell me when to stop. The act of expression. Every experience of slight or tremendous import begins with an impulsion, rather as an impulsion. I say impulsion rather than impulse. An impulse is specialized and particular. It is, even when instinctive, simply an act of the mechanism involved in a more complete adaptation with the environment. Impulsion designates a movement outward and forward of the whole organism, to which special impulses are auxiliary. It is the craving of the living creature for food as distinct from the reactions of tongue and lips that are involved in swallowing. The turning toward light of the body as a whole, like the heliotropism of plants, as distinct from the following of a particular light by the eyes. Because it is the movement of the organism in its entirety. Impulsion is the initial stage of any complete experience. Observation of children discovers many specialized reactions, but they are not, therefore, inceptive of complete experiences. They enter into the latter only as they are woven as strands into an activity that calls the whole self into play. Overlooking these generalized activities and paying attention only to the differentiations, the divisions of labor, which render them more efficient, are pretty much the source and cause of all further errors in the interpretation of experience. Impulsions are the beginning of complete experience because they proceed from need, from a hunger and demand that belongs to the organism as a whole, and that can be supplied only by instituting definite relations, active relations, interactions with the environment. The epidermis is only in the most superficial way an indication of where an organism ends and its environment begins. There are things inside the body that are foreign to it, and there are things outside of it that can belong to it de jure, if not de facto. That is, be taken possession of if life is to continue. On the lower scale, air and food materials are such things. On the higher, tools, whether the pen of the writer or the anvil of the blacksmith, utensils and furnishings, property, friends, and institutions, all the supports and sustenances without which a civilized life cannot be. The need that is manifest in the urgent impulsions that demand completion through what the environment and it alone can supply is a dynamic acknowledgement of this dependence of the self for wholeness upon its surroundings. It is the fate of living creature. However, it cannot secure what belongs to it without an adventure in a world that is a whole it does not own and to which it has no native title. Whenever these organic impulses exceeds the limit of the body, it finds itself in a strange world and commits in some measure the fortune of the self to external circumstance. It cannot just pick what it wants and automatically leave the indifferent and adverse out of account. If and as far as the organism continues to develop, It is helped on as a favoring wind helps the runner. But the impulsion also meets many things on its outbound course that deflect and oppose it. In the process of converting these obstacles and neutral conditions into favoring agencies, the live creature becomes aware of the intent implicit in its impulsion. Self, whether it succeed or fail, does not merely restore itself to its former state. Blind surge has changed it into a purpose. Instinctive tendencies are transformed into contrived undertakings. The attitudes of the self are informed with meaning. Alright, that's all for now. I hope you had a good time. And I will do more videos. Good night.
So when it says plus 3 cards, one action, you have to discard the cards before that takes place?
No, you first draw the 2 cards.
Because of the